Hello everyone, welcome back to TNP Travel. In this video, we're going to be comparing the MSC Cruise Line's Yacht Club experience to traveling non-Yacht Club to help you understand if it's worth the extra money. We recently sailed on both the MSC Meraviglia and Grandiosa, which are two fairly similar MSC ships, but we decided to go with a Yacht Club experience in an inside cabin on the Meraviglia and just to go with regular class on the Grandiosa, but with a balcony cabin. And the reason we did it like this with the two different kinds of cabin is we thought it was a bit of a trade-off having the balcony and no yacht club, but the price was fairly similar between the two ships. And it reflected the kind of decision that you would actually make, where you say, okay, we've got this amount of money to spend. We can either do a yacht club experience, but then we don't get a very good cabin, or we can do non-yacht club and get a nice balcony cabin. So what is the Yacht Club experience? Well, it's a ship within a ship experience that so many cruise lines are doing lately. It includes things like priority check-in and check-out. You get priority tender service going ashore, 24-hour butler service, room service 24 hours a day, a premium drink package, premium internet package, access to the thermal spa, various amenities as well. You also have the exclusivity of just being in this part of the ship. You have access to a private dining room, private lounge. On the ship we were on, you were up at the front of the ship. So it was like your own little ship, really, with its own elevator that got you up and down. And it was never very far to get from your cabin to where you wanted to go within the yacht club area. So obviously with the exclusivity of being in that part of the ship, there's no way to duplicate that unless you join the yacht club. However, with all of the amenities they include, you could buy all those sort of a la carte if you wanted to. And we did do a cost analysis on the yacht club experience and accounted for all the additional extras we would normally get when we cruise, like premium drink package, internet, some specialty dining, and decided that the cost difference would not be too large. So booking Yacht Club for that particular cruise looked cost effective. However, only if we took a smaller inside cabin. So the sacrifice was we wouldn't get a balcony cabin. We'd just do the smaller inside, but we'd have the exclusivity and the inclusion of all the various bits and pieces that we want to have on a cruise with the Yacht Club experience. So what made a big difference for us in the Yacht Club? Well, first of all, the private pool area and sun deck was fantastic. Much less crowded and noisy, very easy to get a drink, so you've got better service, dedicated towels and sunbeds. I really enjoyed the Yacht Club pool as it was salt water, and I get a little sensitive to chlorine sometimes. The pool deck had a nice food offering, a little mini buffet with the option to have some cooked-to-order items like grilled fish or prawns or scallops. Breakfast at the Sun Deck Buffet was very good. I didn't have as much choice as the main buffet, but the food quality was better. I could get things cooked to order, and it was far less crowded. It was more hygienic, and you could have your entire breakfast cooked fresh. We did try the main restaurant buffet, the Marketplace, one day, and I was very disappointed to see the ship had gone back to passengers serving themselves, and that some passengers had gone back to their old unhygienic ways of touching food, not supervising small children when they're at the buffet, and so we quickly escaped back to our private Yacht Club pool buffet, which, although you serve yourself, there was only a handful of people having lunch there versus the thousands going in and out of Marketplace. For one lunch day at the Yacht Club pool buffet, we had grilled sea bream, prawns, and scallops with a nice fresh salad. The only con of the private pool area and sun deck is that because it's right in front of the ship, they had to build a big glass wind barrier over the whole thing, and even some glass wind deflectors overhead. So while you can see through the glass, it's not possible to lean over a railing and feel the breeze and directly see the ocean without having a window in front of you. It was a little obstructive when you want to get up and stare at that big, beautiful Mediterranean sky. There's this jumble of steel and glass. It wasn't a big problem for us, but I thought it was worth noting. The other thing we really enjoyed in the Yacht Club experience was the Yacht Club dining room. We had much better food and service than we would have had in the main dining room. Food is very important to us. We're very fussy. And while it wasn't fantastic, the Yacht Club dining room was good, and we were never disappointed. Because the dining room is quite small and located against the forward windows, we had a great view every night, and with the direction we were pointing, we had a sunset almost every night. We tried the dining room for breakfast once, but we preferred the Sun Deck Buffet breakfast more. And it was wonderful sitting outside having breakfast in the morning sun. And because we didn't enjoy the main dining room on the Grandiosa that much and we couldn't eat in the yacht club on that trip, we ended up spending a lot of time in the specialty restaurants. And I would say that we really enjoyed all of the specialty restaurants and thought that it was very good value for money. And the other amenity that we really enjoyed with the Yacht Club service was priority embarkation. And we boarded the ship in about 20 minutes. We were greeted upon arriving by specialty Yacht Club butlers. They welcomed us, took charge of our luggage, kind of led us through the crowd. And we were offered then cold drinks and seated comfortably on some sofas while they processed all of our check-in documents, passports, etc. This didn't take too long, and it was in stark contrast to a couple months earlier on the Grandiosa when we were not in Yacht Club, and it was about a 2-hour embarkation process that was painful. So we definitely appreciated the priority embarkation on the Yacht Club. And another nice feature of the Yacht Club experience is priority disembarkation, and not so much on the last day of the cruise, but when you're in port and you've got a tender, things get a bit more complicated. Being the Yacht Club meant that we were able to go ashore easily. We just told our butler and he escorted us directly to the tender area and off the ship. And the other nice Yacht Club bonus was the concierge desk, which is in the dedicated Yacht Club area of the ship. We only used the concierge desk a few times to check our account and activate our card, ask a few questions. But when we would go down to the main lobby later and see the main customer service desk, I'm glad we didn't have to wait in those big lineups. The concierge staff were excellent. I had a minor complaint once about something in our cabin, and it was fixed immediately. So what didn't we think made a big difference to our Yacht Club experience? Well, because we had an inside cabin, I guess we never really took advantage fully of our butler service. That's because we're in a very small inside cabin, and we really didn't want to spend a lot of time hanging around there with all the nice areas on the ship. Much of the butler service is having your butler bring you things to enjoy in your cabin, like room service and drinks. Our friends who had booked a balcony Yacht Club experience spent a lot of time utilizing their butler to enjoy themselves while dining or drinking on their veranda. We didn't even have chairs or a sofa in our cabin, so we certainly weren't going to sit around drinking champagne in our windowless small cabin. So our suggestion is if you really want to enjoy the butler service in your MSC Yacht Club experience, don't get the inside cabin like we did. Get the nice balcony cabin with the space so you can really enjoy the butler service. The other part of the Yacht Club that we didn't make very good use of was the top sail lounge. This is the lounge that's dedicated within the Yacht Club part of the ship. It's just there are better lounges on the ship than this particular one. It was very quiet in the evening, and the entertainment was a little bit on the slow side, so we didn't spend a lot of time there. Although the service was excellent when we were there, and they always had a nice small snack buffet laid out, which was very good, we just preferred the more lively bars throughout the ship that had a lot of people in them and more lively entertainment. So a lot of your decision whether or not to do the Yacht Club experience on MSC is going to depend on what type of cabin you can be happy with and what level of food you're willing to accept. We realize that food can be very subjective, and people have wildly different opinions about the food on MSC, as you may see in various blogs. However, from our viewpoint, the food on the Grandiosa in the non-Yacht Club experience that we had just wasn't up to par for us. So we ended up eating in specialty restaurants and sometimes in the buffet, which actually was, we thought, better than the main dining room in terms of quality and food, including this amazing dessert selection that they had with these nice little portions where you could take 1, 2, 3, or I admit sometimes more than that. The other thing about the buffet that we liked was they had these little pre-portioned salads ready to go and these amazing mozzarella balls that are made fresh every day. Now, if you're curious about our cabin choices on both the Meraviglia and Grandiosa, you can click on the links to get our detailed tour. We hope you'd enjoyed our video, and please give us a like and consider subscribing to our travel channel if you would like to see future cruise content. Thanks for watching.